Assalamualaikum, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Welcome to this week's forum. As we all know, social media is a current major issue among teens, which allows you to consider the topics that we have discussed, and we are attempting to solve the problem together by sharing beneficial and interesting ideas and thoughts, which will be delivered by our fantastic guests. Today, we'd like to highlight an intriguing topic for discussion. Is social media creating more behavioral problem among teens? I am sure that each of us has our own thoughts and opinions on this subject. I'd like to introduce our panelists today before we begin our forum. Our panelist is Dr. Nur Shahira Binti Syukur, Head of Consumer and Industry Affairs, MCMC. How are you today, Doctor?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here today.
Next to her is our special panel, Ms. Syaidatul Atira, our education panel. Also, we have Ms. Shahira Roslan, our mental health advocate. And last one is Datuk Sri Nur Sina, our Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. Before we start our forum in details, let me explain about our topic today. As we know, nowadays, social media become a big platform for teenagers to interact and communicate with friends. During pandemic COVID-19, when a government ordered people to isolate, teenagers did not have a chance to meet their friends in school. So, social media is the only platform for them to interact with their friends. But there is some disagreement regarding social media among teenagers, which is some say they are more disadvantage than advantage to teenagers. Without wasting time, let's hear the opinion on our title from the first invited panel one.
Assalamualaikum everyone. First of all, I'm happy to be here to share my thoughts and concern on this topic to be discussed. The general opinion is that most teenagers prefer to spend their time with things involving the internet and computers, such as video games, browsing social sites, and watching movies on live streaming. Children and teenagers are the majority group of internet users in this country, which is about 14% of the 20.1 million users, and most of them have Facebook and TikTok accounts. This is one of the reasons that is said to make them less interested in participating in physical activities such as traveling, camping, mountain climbing, and so on. In addition, teenagers' addiction to social sites also cause them to lose focus on tasks and make them dream of virtual world that can weaken the mind and emotions. This social media channel is also dominated by many young generation who use social media for gossip, chat, games, and rituals. As a result of the addiction to using this social media application excessively, it has the potential to cause a lot of useful time to be put aside. As you all know, teenagers now like to use gadgets and social media as a sources of reference. These referral sources are not necessarily positive content. In fact, of them make application to access negative and useful things. And what cannot be denied anymore is that teenagers are mostly exposed to some kind of online crime. Social media is where cyberbullying takes place. This issue has started to affect young people so much that some have decided to commit suicide. At the same time, parents' anxiety about their children's online activity is no secret. Without negating the benefit of the virtual world, society needs to accept the reality of the risk faced by Generation Y.
Thank you, Dr. Nur Shahira Binti Syukur, for your opinion. You strongly agree that social media provide young people with a range of benefits and opportunities to empower themselves in a variety of ways. Ms. Syaidatul Atira, our education panel, can you give opinion on why social media is actually safe for teenagers?
Thank you, moderator. For me, social media is a place where people can express what they feel, what they think, and also their options, whereby people could not just simply do that without the use of social media. It also allows teens to create online identities and communicate with others and build social networks. People would say that it's not normal to just speak out about whatever you want to say in real life. With the help of social media, it seems more normal to express your creativity. For example, content creators from the platform we call TikTok are more open to sharing and giving awareness to the public about their disabilities from mental health problems. Such as Tourette syndrome, bipolar disorder, and many more. It shows that people have gained confidence in themselves by sharing this topic with others. Social media can increase students' motivation to learn because it will be exciting when they see it on the internet. I think no educator will argue that students are more engaged in their learning process when they have fun. So the learning process will be more attractive, plus students' communication skills will be increased. A lot of students work together with other students as well as teachers. For example, by using online social media such as YouTube in the classroom, teachers can expose more about the subject that they learned rather than use a whiteboard. Therefore, students and teachers can collaborate and have cooperative learning activities. They can also learn faster and understand more because they can see with their eyes and hear with their ears. So I think I will support the use of social media as a member of education panel because it encourages people to be more confident and open-minded. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Atira. That was a great point to be said. As a mental health advocate, can Miss Nur Shahira binti Muhammad Roslan, our mental health advocate, to explain the related social media to mental health?
Thank you, moderator, for giving me a chance to speak my mind. In my opinion, social media can be bad for teens' mental health. How teens use social media might determine its impact. According to a survey of US teens, teen depressive symptoms and suicide rates showed marked increases between 2010 and 2015, especially among females. The teens surveyed who spent more time on social media were more likely to report mental health issues. Teen depression is a serious mental health problem that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest in activities. Teen depression signs and symptoms include a change from the teenager's previous attitude and behavior that can cause significant distress and problems at school or home, in school activities, or in other areas of life. It affects how teenagers think, feels, and behaves, and it can cause emotional, functional, and physical problems. Based on the articles I studied, a 2015 study found that social comparison and feedback seeking by teens using social media and cell phones was linked with depressive symptoms. In addition, a small 2013 study found that older teens who use social media passively, such as by just viewing others' photos, reported declines in life satisfaction. Those who use social media to interact with others or post their own content didn't experience these declines. Some researchers theorized that the increase in social media and overall screen use between those years could account for these changes. Those who spend more time on unplugged activities such as in-person social interaction, sports, exercise, homework, and print media were less likely to report these issues. To sum up, it is clear that social media can be bad for mental health based on the findings I have stated before. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nur Shahira Roslan. That was such a thoughtful explanation regarding mental issue. I totally agree that uncontrolled use of social media can affect the mental health of teenagers. Okay, let's proceed. Our Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, Dato Sri Norsina, thank you for coming. Can we get your opinion relating between social media and connection with family and friends?
We are in era 2022, so it's mean in the huge technology development. Technology speed up the communication between people. Technology provides convenience to use more than one method of communication. Now people can use email, social media, chat, messenger, video conferencing, video calls, images, videos, um, diagram charts and emoticon. So there are a good advantages when teenagers use media social to build relationship and staying connected with families and friends. Social media can make it easy to find group of like-minded people or make a new friends. Finding a close-knit community can help us feel valued and accepted. Social media is also an easy way to nurture existing relationship with family and friends who have moved away. Send messages, share photos, call or host video chats to stay in touch. On social media, you can reach out to new connection and start developing relationship with them as well. Whether they live nearby or on other side of the world, you can easily communicate and share content. This level of connectedness is a unique advantage of digital media.
Actually, I was quite excited to hear different opinions from all four panels. But I believe that each panel also have a different view or opinion, and our forum viewers today would like to know more details about this interesting topic. As we can hear that our panelists, Ms. Shaidatul Atira, strongly disagree that social media creating more behavioral problems among teens. Do you agree with this opinion, Puan Nur Shahira?
I am sorry. I have to disagree. The social media helps students in their learning process, as Ms. Atira has stated before. This is because there is a possibility for teens to misuse the social media platform, as mentioned before by Dr. Nushahira Shukor. The lines between freedom of speech and cyberbullying is thin. Therefore, instead of encouraging them to be more creative, confident, and open-minded, the platform instead could be a breaking point for cyberbullying. Teens cannot differentiate between being outspoken or simply being rude. They could say the most mean things to others and claim that it is their right to speak out. This is how cyberbullying becomes prevented, and more people could be their victims. Based on an article by Richard Australia, the effects of cyberbullying are similar to the effects of bullying. But the main difference is that it's much harder to avoid because it can follow the teen home from school and make them feel like they'll never be able to escape it. According to Joseph Graney, co-author of New York Times bestseller Crucial Conversation and Forbes contributor, who did a study in 2013, showed 78% of users reported a rise in hostility on social media, and 2 in 5 people blocking, unsubscribing, or unfriending someone due to a virtual argument. I'm not sure social media would help much in teens' learning process. However, I agree with the use of social media such as YouTube and Google Classroom being used in their learning process. This platform would make learning much more engaging for teens, especially if the educator could leverage problem solving, group discussions, case studies, putting them into scenarios, testing their skills with a quiz, and more. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shahira, for your different view about this matter. Let's move to Ms. Shaidatul Atira. What is your opinion regarding our first panelist, Dr. Shahira binti Syukur, a head of Consumer and Industry Affairs (MCNC), who strongly agree that social media creating more behavioral problem among teens?
Okay, I think I have a different argument because social media provides young people with a range of benefits and opportunities to empower themselves in a variety of ways. Young people can maintain social connections and support networks that otherwise will not be possible and can access more information than ever before. A literature review published by the Young Annual Cooperative Research Center found that social networking services actually play a vital role in young people's lives. For example, delivering educational outcomes, facilitating supportive relationships, identity formation, and promoting a sense of belonging and self-esteem. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shaidatul Atira. From your explanation, you strongly agree that actually social media provide more benefits for young people. What can you say, Datuk Sri Norsina, with our mental health advocate opinions today?
Thank you, moderator, for giving me a chance to speak with my own opinions. In my opinions, I totally disagree with panel 3, Ms. Nushaira Roslan, that social media can be bad for teens' mental health. As we know, we often only think about the bad that goes along with social networking, but there are many great effects of social media on people of all ages. The most obvious positive effects of social media focus on communication and socializations. These sites help us to keep in touch with people we may not regularly see. We can also call or text. Social networking also allows users to meet people they may not have otherwise met. Even if a person has a niche interest, they can find their community online. These platforms are often a way for people who may be introverted to make friends. For many, it can help to alleviate loneliness and depression. There's also the convenience factor. It's easy to get in touch with a large group of people at one time. Users can share information quickly and effectively. This power of media social becomes even more evident in times of crisis when users can report themselves safe and ease the worries of their friends. So the bad mental health effect depends on how the teenagers use social media with the good things or with the bad things.
Okay, that was such a thoughtful explanation from our Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, Datuk Sri Norsina. Okay, how about you, Dr. Norshaira binti Syukur, regarding point Datuk Sri Norsina point of view?
I would like to quote a sentence from Puan Sina early, which is making new friends among teenagers. This is what we should emphasize because, in my opinion, it is not wrong to make new friends from a positive point of view, but we should think about the negative effects. This is where the role of parents needs to know about the consequences of using social media by children who have reached the age of teenagers. Parents should know what are the top choice of social media apps used for monitoring purpose. Some teenagers tend to accept requests from strangers, send requests to strangers, and meet strangers they know through social media channels. Among the common risks faced are fraud, cyberbullying, the spread of false information, excessive sharing of personal information, as well as obscene and vulgar material.
Thank you for all panelists for the sharing beneficial and interesting ideas and thoughts. Now, we move to a question and answer session. Anyone who want to ask the question can kindly WhatsApp our call center number 017 261 1076. Okay, we already got one question from our loyal viewer, Mr. Arash. The question is, what is the role of teenagers in this issue? It's an interesting question. Maybe we can ask our panelists to answer the question.
What is important is the policy of an individual to choose information that is relevant to his need and to ensure that the information received is authentic and useful. In addition to reading, writing, and counting skills, I think we need to add another skill to our young people, which is the ability to carry yourself on social media. It's about time we train these teenagers to be good at choosing between true and false news, choosing between good and bad news.
Teenagers should develop a healthy habit when using social media. One of the easiest ways to improve their digital habit is to help them make decisions about what they see on their social feeds every day. They might find it helpful to clean up their feed by removing certain types of content from it entirely. For example, by filtering contents they don't like and just click the contents that makes them feel good. It is also a good idea to find accounts that help create positive links. For instances, if they like photography, they should find accounts that related to photography and follow photographers that can be inspiring to them and help balance out the negative stuff.
Thank you, Dr. Shahira binti Syukur and Ms. Shahira Roslan for the good answer. In conclusion, we can see that social media actually has advantage and disadvantage. So what the important is, parents play the main role to control their children using social media so that their children don't get too influenced and get caught up in a bad culture. Finally, we come to the end of our forum. We would like to say thanks again to our panelists for the informative and interesting talk, and also this week's forum viewers. Hopefully, the forum will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention.